Welcome back once again to the Do You Like Films podcast. Hello, I'm Shaun, and I'm joined once again by my compadres. We've got Michael in the red corner.
Hello.
And we've got Curtis in the blue corner.
What's up, motherfuckers?
How's it going, guys?
Good,
Yeah,
good.
it's alright,
How
not
are you?
too bad. Yeah.
So today we've come together. We're going to talk about the latest movie in the DCEU. It's Wonder Woman. We're going to talk about all the things we liked, all the things we disliked. And we'll go from there. We'll talk non-spoilers at the beginning. We'll just give an overview of the movie, of the plot, some things we liked, some things we didn't like, without giving too much away. And then we'll make a big announcement, and then we'll go full heavy into the spoilers. So my kind of overview was, I thought this was a thoroughly enjoyable movie.
Yep, I completely agree. It was definitely better than the other pieces of shit like Suicide Squad and Batman versus Superman.
Yep, I totally
Um,
agree.
Yeah.
I think mainly because it had just decent pacing, really. Because the other films didn't seem to pace very well. Whereas
Well,
this...
I still think that was a major issue with this film. I think
Oh,
I
really?
did think it had pacing issues, but not as
not
badly
as bad
as
as
the
the
other one.
others, yeah.
It was still bloated. It was still too long. It was still sort of had unnecessary moments, and the pacing was off for me a little bit. But it didn't detract away from the movie too much because there was so much to enjoy in there. What do you think, Michael?
I agree with you. Again, I don't understand why these films have to be 2 hours, 20 minutes long.
Yeah,
You
man.
can cut 20 minutes out of so many films.
Easily.
But I thought it was wicked.
Yeah.
I thought she was phenomenal. I thought Chris Pine as Steve Trevor, the love interest, was wicked.
I thought Chris Pine looked a lot like, the main guy from Team America, in the main puppet guy. It reminded me a lot of him. I have no idea why. It's just his mannerisms, I guess.
I agree with you with the whole Chris Pine thing. I think, I'm just going to put out there, I believe that Chris Pine has potentially just saved the DCEU.
Yeah.
I thought he was incredible. Like, he led the movie. He was the perfect sort of sidekick to Wonder Woman, because he brought that humanity, and he was a good love interest. He was believable. He was human, basically, and it was this nice kind of dynamic between this Amazon goddess of Wonder Woman who, is crazy good at fighting, kills MFers up, can jump really high, and then he's there just like, I'm a guy and I can use my words and I'm pretty good at disguises.
And he did shoot some people right in the face, and it was
a
pretty
really bad
good.
German accent.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
Yeah, but he was really good actually. Yeah, as a side character and stuff. Like most of them, because there's a whole group of them in there really that that gets to know
sort of
Wonder Woman.
The DC Howling Commandos.
Yeah, and like every single one of them was pretty cool as well. Had the guy from, I can't remember his name, the guy from Trainspotting 2 and Trainspotting.
Ewan Bremner.
That's
Ewan
it.
Bremner.
Yeah, playing like a Scottish guy and
Playing Spud, basically.
Yeah, playing
wasn't he?
Spud. Yeah, pretty much, and that was pretty good.
I thought the group worked really well together.
Yeah.
I thought when they all, like that photo was such a...
Excuse the noise of a F1 tornado just passing over.
I think World War III's just happened there.
Yeah, shit.
Okay, yeah.
That's
Just to be honest, it's really warm where we're podcasting right now, so we've got a few windows open. So if you do hear
hope
some
it picks it
external
up.
noises, planes, trains, automobiles, or just random
World War III,
neighbours
just
shouting
chill.
at us saying, "You're really good at podcasting, yay!" Which probably won't happen. We do apologise, but
That was
yeah,
insane.
I agree with the fake Howling Commandos. I thought they were pretty good. They were a good sort of team to supplement Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor.
Definitely. It reminded me a lot of Rogue One in that sense of like all the people coming together and fighting against something, I guess.
I thought it was funny how one of them brought a fez to the war. I thought, like, he's packed my boots, got my gun, my fez, got my fez.
Well, he's an actor, isn't he? He never knows when he needs to don a fez.
Yeah.
He probably had loads of stuff in his bag of tricks, So I thought it was the best movie in the DC universe to date,
Hands down.
which is not really saying much because we've got Man of Steel, which was
Shite.
it was probably half good, half bad.
The soundtrack was decent for it.
There was decent moments in it, and then it just ended up in a big mess. And then you've got Batman v Superman, which we've talked to death about that, just kind of being so underwhelming. Suicide Squad, we mentioned before, and then this comes along and was a breath of fresh air.
It was. Oh man.
It was intriguing. It was emotional. It was funny.
Yeah, it
Looks
was
good.
It
Looks
looks
amazing.
great. Yeah.
Apart from when she runs, sometimes like that animation got me a little bit. When she runs quite fast, and it all blurs and stuff behind her like the Flash, but it didn't look quite like right.
It's a comic book
but
film,
it's
though,
a comic
isn't it?
book film. But like
a lot of her sort of flying through the air and doing these large jumps just.
But the slow mo in it was sick. Like when it was
I think
overused.
DC have got that
but
on lock, really. Haven't
Yeah,
they?
it was pretty good how you could see like a kick come in and then they would speed it up and that kind of thing.
I swear, at one point they did the exact same thing as Batman did in Batman v Superman, where they're in sort of a close quarters combat. He rocks in, like hits a bunch of dudes, and then does a slow motion like sweep kick.
Yeah.
That was in both movies, right?
Yeah,
or am I just thinking about?
I think so. Yeah, but both times it was awesome, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely great parts in the
maybe
movies.
it's their whole like thing with with Marvel where they all stand together and it slow mo pans around them. Maybe it's their thing.
Yeah,
We punch
Slow
a load of
motion
people and then
sweep
slow
kicks.
motion sweep kick.
Yeah, we'll have to watch out for that in what's the next one? Justice League later on this year.
Justice League. Yeah,
I'm sure there'll be plenty of
Sweep
leg
kicking.
sweeps.
Now we've spoken a bit about it and that we enjoy it. Can we start talking about things in more detail?
Yes, I just want to get on one point, really. For anybody out there who hasn't seen the movie and wants to watch it and they've listened to this first portion of the podcast, if you like movies like Thor, and if you liked Captain America, The First Avenger, and any good Superman movies, my opinion was it was basically those three movies, because you've got the God aspect of Thor,
Nazis
you've got the Nazis and World War, 1 and 2, bit from Captain America. You've got the morals and the almost superpowers of Superman kind of combined into one. It's taking the best parts of each of those movies and mashing it up together in a quite long movie, but you have to expect it with these comic book movies. So that's my kind of overview of the movie.
Yep.
And if you guys are happy to sort of delve into more spoilery territory,
saying
we
a
can go ahead and
spoiler,
do
but I've just noticed that Wonder Woman, when you put the initials down, also is World War. And what happens in Wonder Woman? There's a World War going on.
I think we've just uncovered something there.
Bam. Let's call David Icke.
What did you guys think to the villain in it? Because there's always so much focus in superhero films on whether the villain's good or not. It's people are quite black and white about it as well. They either love them or hate
Should we
them.
say from this point onwards we'll go sort of
full-
fairly spoilers because
okay,
we want to get into the meat and bones of the film.
Yeah.
My opinion of the movie's villain was, very much a superhero movie villain. It was kind of lackluster and sort of a bit too CGI-y,
A little
battle-y
bit
at the
cheesy.
end. Yeah, I thought the movie overall was kind of cheesy, but that was, I don't know, it kind of
It had a fun kind of vibe.
Yeah, fun cheesy.
What I liked about, I'm going to say it now, the big bad guy, spoiler, his name is Ares, and he is basically a god of destruction and war,
the God
right?
of War, yeah.
And the thing that I liked about it was there's a video game called Injustice, and you can play as Ares, and he uses a few moves from that game in that film.
Okay, that's
Like
cool.
where he picks up all the like little sharp bits and makes them and throws them.
Yeah.
That's a move in
because
Injustice.
that was a thing that I was a little bit iffy on because, Michael, we've talked in the past, sort of off podcast about these movies. We talked about Apocalypse, and you're never really sure of what Apocalypse can do. He has these powers. Can he just make the earth move, or does he kill people through like mind telepathy? I had a little bit that with Ares. It was like, what is he, a lightning god? Is he can he just make things happen? At one point he sort of surrounds Wonder Woman in the ground or with metal and stuff. And like, are you Magneto? Are you Apocalypse? Are you Professor X? Are you Thor? I wasn't quite sure about that.
I think I was a bit forgiving of it because he is a god. I feel like it gives you a little bit of leeway to be a bit more strange with your powers and what you can do. The only thing that really bothered me with him was when it's the reveal of who Ares is, who we originally think he's a good guy, but it turns out that he is a bad guy, is when Wonder Woman goes to have the conversation with him, and he's 1 minute he's in one room, and then he does that thing of the camera turns and he's not there, and then he's in another bit. And I always think if anyone's got that power, just use it all the time. Why ever be in your like physical form? Do you know what I mean? When you can just, with the trick of a camera, you can just disappear. Yeah. But I thought he was actually wicked. I disagree with you. I love the CGI of him. I thought his costume looked phenomenal.
Yeah, I really liked the bit when he sort of first puts his costume on
and then
his
peels
face.
off his eyes.
I was so excited. I said to my cousin sit next to me, because initially she's fighting him and he's in a smart suit, I said, for the love of God, turn into Ares. Otherwise, this will be the worst fight ever. Some bloke with a shirt and tie fighting Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought when he turned, it looked fantastic.
Yeah, he did look quite
Yeah.
badass. didn't
Sort of out of context for those listening right now, and if you're here in the spoilers and you've not seen the movie, so we're led to believe that the villain is like Dr. Poison and the other sort of the German guy, the guy who played Stryker in X-Men Origins, Wolverine.
Shiza Minnelli.
What he said. You're sort of led to believe because Dr. Poison sort of made these vials that he snaps and sniffs up and makes him kind of superpowered. So you're like, oh, so that's Ares. And then there's this whole thing with the God Killer, which is what Wonder Woman's led to believe is this sword that can kill a god. And then the reveal there is that actually Wonder Woman is the God Killer, and she uses a sword on the German guy, and it's like, oh, it's not him. I thought that was quite a cool little thing because I thought maybe he was Ares and he'd get stabbed, and then like maybe later on he'd come back and in his god form. And I was like, okay, I didn't see that one coming, so I was happy about that. Whereas like in Batman v Superman, you saw the Doomsday thing coming because you think, oh, Lex Luthor's going to be the villain in this, and then they gave it away in the trailers, and you're like, oh well, that big CGI sort of turtle monster's the villain. In this, I liked the little bit of the ruse, the reveal. I thought it was quite good.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely it was really good because I had no idea because I thought that was it when she stabbed him. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I thought it'd have been underwhelming kind of finale.
What
so I knew
liked,
something
though,
was going to happen.
I liked when Ares was inside and then he pops outside behind the window, like in the tower.
That was the bit I was just
saying.
saying.
Yeah, that bit, yeah. But like that bit where he just pops and looks through the window, it's like, ooh, he's a bit creepy. Right.
Yeah, I didn't really like you said there, Michael. It's that sort of like you would use it each time.
Yeah.
And that bit felt a bit like expositional.
Yeah.
And it kind of went on a bit too long where like, oh, I'm going outside now. Oh, he's inside. I'm going inside. Oh, he's outside.
Yeah.
Come on, just get to it, you know. But
think
that was a minor fault in that whole thing, and I thought the sort of end battle was kind of, it wasn't too CGI-y, but it trod on the territory of sort of CGI mess, blue lightning kind of thing. But it wasn't that sort of Ares, made this big machine that's going to blow up the earth. It was something different.
One thing I absolutely loved was the costume reveal of Wonder Woman, the way they kept teasing it
Oh, yeah,
throughout,
that was
and
cool.
there were moments when they made it really funny by showing what it would have been like to be a woman in that period of time. And she's very strong-minded, and she couldn't comprehend the idea that a woman wouldn't be allowed to just wear what she wants, and I thought, and so I thought it was great the way that she kept on wanting to take off her the clothes that were hiding her costume, and then the moment when they get to No Man's Land, and she goes and
mate.
takes the next bunker was just phenomenal.
It was the way that she blocked all the bullets with
Yeah.
her shield, and
Amazing.
like,
That was probably the most incredible part of that movie.
it was insane. That, and I really
enjoyed
liked the
that
beach
bit.
fight at the beginning.
Yes,
that
yes.
was insane.
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
that was good,
When
yeah.
all like the Amazonians dropped down with their bow and arrows, and they're like, cha, cha,
Yeah.
and
and
stuff
sort
like
of
that.
crazy flips and stuff, and it
Yeah.
just sort of showed these guys as highly skilled. They're
Skilled
not inept.
warriors. Yeah, they know
you
what they're
know.
doing.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Regardless of technology, they can still take out people.
Exactly. Yeah, I had that written down. Like, there were some incredible action scenes, and it was the No Man's Land scene. It was the beach invasion scene, and then there's a scene later on where they get to a town, and there's a guy up in the bell tower and he's snipering people.
And they're like, jump up!
Yeah, I thought that was a really, really cool moment.
Yeah.
You know, it showed the sort of teamwork.
Again, like the slow mo for that was excellent when she was just jumping through and everything was exploding slow, and like the part where she jumps through that window really slow as well.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and she's a
it looks
beautiful
wicked.
woman as well. I'd like to add, like,
Indeed.
for like
She
an
looked
actual
great,
Wonder
yeah.
Woman. Like, yeah, definitely, you're right.
I got a question for you guys. Are you bored of origin stories, or was this one sort of a bit of
Nah.
a breath of fresh air?
Like, I'm not really bored of origin stories as long as they're done well. I don't really mind, I suppose. Like, and I felt like that one was done really well because, like, I keep saying like again, don't I? Fuck. But when she was a kid, like the child actor was really good in that as well.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't feel like she was forced or anything like that. She just was a good actor.
Yeah, I agree. I think what you said, that it's not a case of being bored of them, it's just if they're done well or not. And I think that you can constantly reinvent it, like Deadpool reinvented it, and then Wonder Woman, we haven't seen it done in that way. I thought the whole opening 25 minutes was fantastic, seeing her grow up on that island and seeing her train. I got a little
Yeah, I was
confused
just
with
about
her
to say.
mum. Like, she didn't want her to know she was so powerful, but then she's you can train her, but don't tell her how powerful she is. Like, why not? Just tell her.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, was she gonna lose
I
by?
I think
I
that's
guess
just
she's
the
just
reveal
gonna-
towards the end, isn't it? If they gave it away there, it's like, actually, that sword's not really the God Killer. You are. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, sweet, I'm the God Killer. That's cool. And later on, she's like, well, I am. He's like, oh, you already knew, did you? Yeah, Mum told me. Sorry.
Well, that's the thing. It is her mum. Don't forget. She doesn't want her to go away fighting wars and stuff. I guess.
But if she's the only thing that can kill a god,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you let her know that she's a God Killer? So
Right.
if Ares does pop along and he's all like,
Because
I'ma
of
fuck
love,
you all up.
Shaun.
I'ma
Because
fuck
of
you all
love.
up.
It's love. Okay?
and they're like, oh, sorry, Diana, we forgot to tell you the God Killer. Go
Yeah.
get him. Go get him, girl. But I haven't been trained. Oh, yeah, we should have trained you, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Usually,
I do get
usually
it.
bracelets.
Yeah, real quick montage.
yeah.
I disagree with you a little bit there, Michael. I thought that first sort of 25 minutes was part of the bloated section for me. I thought it could have moved along a little quicker. I enjoyed the sort of origin. I enjoyed the training. I enjoyed the sort of camaraderie between the ladies and her progression of talents. And I was just like, I want to see a little bit more. I want to get to that first beach scene. I want to see, you know, Steve Trevor and the Nazis coming over, and I want to see that battle. And it couldn't have come soon enough for me.
I thought it was good pacing. Like I thought that was perfect. Like it gave you a real insight into her character development and how she was as a kid and how she's going to be as an adult. So I thought like the first 25 minutes were quite necessary.
I agree they were necessary.
Do you know what I
I
mean?
just
Like-
felt it could have moved along a little quicker.
Yeah.
Like
I guess.
for a 2 hour 20 movie, you know, it just trim the fat. You know.
Yeah, there
I
was
feel
a
you could have
bit.
got that across.
There was quite a lot of
15
dead
minutes.
silence actually at the beginning, weren't there? At some points, but yeah, no, I really enjoyed that. I don't know why, because I think it's because I wasn't expecting anything from Wonder Woman,
Yeah, that's a good point actually.
and
I agree. Yeah.
like I was like, oh, it's just gonna be DC, so it's gonna be rubbish.
Mm.
And I watched it at the midnight showing, so I was super tired. Like, I mean, so tired. And then I watched it, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Kept me awake. I didn't really care that I had work at 9 o'clock the next morning.
Yeah.
No, it was good.
Don't you
It
think
was
her
worth it.
music is fantastic as
Yeah.
well, specifically to her?
Do you know who does it?
No, I'm not sure.
No?
But I wasn't a fan of it during Batman v Superman. I thought it felt a little bit forced and it didn't quite fit her. But in this movie, in the context of it, I was all for it. I thought it was great. It added that sort of real heart-pumping, fast-paced, sort of adrenaline-type music of those action scenes. Like, especially during, I believe the music comes on when she's, you know, the slow motion's happening and she's in that sort of like, I don't know if it's barracks and she's taking down all the Nazis and she's doing the sweep kicks in slow motion and smashing fools up and, you know, using her shield and stuff like that. I was like, I'm all for it. So in that respect, I would have liked it maybe if Batman v Superman and Wonder Woman were switched in times that they came out. Because I think it would have been cooler.
Yeah, you're right.
Like Wonder
You
Woman
are
comes
right.
into Batman v Superman, that music hits and like, I recognise this. Go kick some ass, Wonder
yeah.
Woman.
You are
Rather than like,
100%
oh, I've
right,
already
yeah.
heard that music. Like the reveal of it is kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't even
It
think
wasn't
about
bad,
that.
but it was a minor gribble for me.
You guys watched it in 2D, didn't you? Did you ever
Yeah.
feel like at any moments, oh, I wish I was watching this in 3D?
I mean, not particularly. No, like I was just enjoying the film for what it was, but I do want to go see it in 3D to see what it is like. And you saw it in 3D, didn't you?
Yes,
Yeah?
and I wish I didn't. I just,
Oh, really?
Another one of
I
those.
just do not understand it.
Was it just-
You know, there's quite a few moments where it's dark as well. With the glasses on, it's almost unbearable how dark it is. I think I spent half the film with the glasses off. For the action scenes, I put them on.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why it's still a thing. I think it was just so novelty and so.
Was it the same thing that I said about Guardians? Like the first 20 minutes is very much, well, it's scenery and it's all really nice and they can look really nice with this sort of depth perception.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks beautiful. It's this lovely idyllic Themyscira and it looks really nice. And then, you know, after 20 minutes, they're just like, we'll just drop the 3D and then pick it up later on when it kind of needs it. But
So it's all Avatar's fault. Just saying.
James
Damn
Cameron!
you, James Cameron. Why don't you live at the bottom of the sea? You fucking
With the
woman thing. I don't know.
with the Amazons, what did you take that their powers were? Like, are they stronger? Are they faster than normal people? Are they just
Yeah.
really well trained, but they get shot by bullets and it still hurts
Yeah.
them like it would hurt a human?
I think, like, yeah, Diana is obviously an Amazon. She's very highly skilled, but she's basically a god. She got shot at one point, didn't she? And then the person was like rubbing her down, and then the scar was gone. So
wasn't they all created
she's
by
obviously
gods? Like the whole lot of them.
I got a bit confused as to what from the story was real and what wasn't, because her mum told that story, and some of it wasn't the way it was, and some of it was. So I didn't really understand.
Although when they were telling the story, it was really nice art. I thought, like the way that it was just like kind of
I thought that
looked
wicked.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
yeah.
What I got from it was her mum was very protective of Diana because in this world of Amazons, she was the only kid, wasn't she? So it's like sort of trying to keep that naivety in the kid, not bring her up in this like, well, you know, maybe one day Ares is going to come and kill everybody. It's sort of like trying to, you know, how did I come about? There's no men here.
Yeah.
How does that kind of happen? She's like, well, you know, sculpted you out of clay and Zeus, you know,
That was
did something.
a nice little thing, because in the original comic, she is actually made from clay.
Yeah.
So it was quite a nice little
But
nod.
what I got from it was when sort of she's talking to Ares, maybe Zeus is her father, and you know Zeus had it on with her mum, and maybe she was born properly or something like that, or some sort of godlike way. So you know her mum's not a god, but Zeus is a god, so he instilled his godlike
powers.
you know, semen into her. Not into Diana, because that's weird.
That's weird.
Into her mum.
Yeah. I like the scenes with her and Chris Pines where they're just talking. I thought they were quite good. Like the ones
They
where,
had really good chemistry, didn't
yeah,
they?
like when they're on the boat and that, and they're like, "Oh, you're a man."
Again, that was too long for me.
You got a dingle?
Come and sit over here. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't lay down with a girl.
I'll sleep with you.
I get the whole point. Like,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the whole fish out of water thing. Like, I thought it worked well in Thor of like, get me some mead, you know.
Another.
I want a horse, and I like that sort of. You're from one world, you've come into another world, and there was like almost the double reverse. Chris Pine comes into this world filled with wonderful women, and he's all like, "So what's going on here?" And they're just like, "Well,
I'm pretty sure I turned to a mate that I was with and was just like, "Is this Snoo? Is this where Snoo's going to happen?"
Futurama
reference there. Yeah.
And there was that nice thing of, you know, when he stands up and she's all like, "Oh, all men like you," and so well, I'm pretty above average. I was hoping I was going to say like below average on a small dick joke, but that would be what we would do, wouldn't it?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, I like that whole dynamic. And then when they leave Themyscira to go to London, and she's, like you said earlier, Michael, like trying to uncloak all the time to fight people and carrying this big sword around. He's like, just chill, you know. While they holding hands because they're together, and she holds his hand. And he's like, no, we're not together like that. I really like that whole dynamic. And then the scenes where she's dressing up and she's trying to sort of dress up for battle, but still to blend in, and the glasses thing. And Lucy Davis, I thought was great.
I
The
thought
comic
she
relief.
was all right. I found her.
Well, she wasn't in it that much. That's probably why I enjoyed
Yeah.
it. It was just
Who's that?
is Dawn from The Office. She played the secretary, Etta Candy.
Oh yeah, no, she had quite a funny few lines. I thought
She was more there for just like reactions of like, oh,
yeah,
that
pretty
sort of
Much.
British humour of like, oh, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, like that big guy from Fantastic Beasts. You know, the guy that gets the cake shop.
Haven't seen it.
Um,
Don't watch lame movies.
Oh, lame movies. It's about wizards.
I have a confession. I cried at, big spoiler here, Steve Trevor dying.
Great moment.
Really
It
moved
was
me.
a really good moment.
And showed how cool a character he was.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that he was willing to sacrifice himself. And it came at the perfect moment for Diana to then, you know, it just gave her the extra power she needed to go on and take Ares.
No, I completely agree. That
was
scene
excellent.
worked. It was. I didn't quite understand what they were doing at first, because I thought, they got all these like toxic gases. What, are they going to blow it up? Is he going to like crash it into the river? Is he going to do a Captain America and just dive it into the ice? Like, what's going to happen here? And I was like, surely he can't go up in the sky and explode, because all the gas will come down and kill everybody.
Yeah, that's what
I wasn't
thought.
quite
I
sure
wasn't
about
too
that,
sure.
but I appreciated the sacrifice they had to do, and that whole moment was really, really good, because it wasn't just, I'm up here, bang. It was think about it for a second, close my eyes, have a little smile, but then kind of you get to realize the gravity of the situation, and then bang, and it cuts back to her, and she sees the dust cloud, and you're like, okay, shit just got real, you know.
I like that bit where it's all like she can't hear what he's saying, and then like you hear later on what he was said.
Yeah, that was quite.
That was
that was
quite
really
nice.
well
Yeah,
done.
but he's like, "I love you," and it's like, "Oh, no, he's dead."
That was really well done.
Chris Pine.
Also, we're forgetting about like how like, does it start at the beginning with her in the future, right?
Yeah.
And with the email from Bruce Wayne.
Well, no, he sends a package to her, doesn't
Yes,
he?
he
Wayne
does.
Enterprises.
We found this, and what is good is that photo was the one that was in Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah. So it kind of links that as well, which I thought was kind of nice. And what I liked about the film was that, bar that, there was no other cameos. It was literally just Wonder Woman film, and that's it.
It had a real advantage by being set when it was set, didn't it?
Yeah.
That it could do its own thing, and sort of the start and the end is the only link to anything else DC.
Yeah.
It's almost like Guardians of the Galaxy in that respect. It's loosely linked to the MCU, but they're in space doing their own thing, so it doesn't really matter what they do. In this one, it's in the past, so obviously things do have a knock-on effect, like maybe Dr. Poison and her little sort of blue vial is going to come back later on. It could be produced into the Bane sort of super soldier Venom type thing, but it doesn't necessarily have to, because that can just be a place in time that happened, and then we move on to later on with who else?
What did you guys think
villains.
of Mrs. Poison or whatever her name was?
Was it Dr. Poison?
Dr. Poison, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought she was like cool, like how I thought. First of all, I thought she might have been made out of clay, like Wonder Woman was, because like half of the face looked like kind of like
She
a
just
puppet.
wasn't baked correctly.
Yeah, she wasn't baked correctly. I thought she was a
Yeah, I thought she
unbaked
looked really
person.
good, and I love how for such an evil character, you do have a moment where you feel sorry for her
Yeah.
when you see that Ares has been manipulating and things like that. And I thought that was a really interesting question as well. Of are like humans just inherently evil?
Yeah.
Are we good? Like, are we just a mishmash of both? And I thought it really did a good job of making you think for a superhero film, just about about the war, and just like there's a bit with Chris Pine saying, do you think there's moments where I've thought, is it just one man and things like that?
Oh, yeah.
When
And is it, whose responsibility is it? Like the moment when she picks up that huge tank and is holding it over her head,
Yeah.
and Ares is like, well, she was the one making the gas, she was the one killing these people, squish her. And she's like, well, but you manipulated her, like, so is it her fault? Is it is it based in human condition? Overall, it's actually your fault because you influenced her, but is that the real
already,
thing?
Is it already there? Is
it's if I say something to you, you don't necessarily have to do it because people have got their own free will and make their own mistakes and stuff like that. So I thought that was a cool little moment, and like you say, you sort of start to have a little bit of empathy for the character there. Did she die in the end? I can't remember.
I don't think so. I think
So
she just
maybe she'll play.
She got her
play a
face
part
knocked off,
later on.
and then you just saw that she had like a massive Chelsea smile on one side.
Yeah, it was like, oh, it was like little Joker-y-esque type.
But then that
I don't know how could
leaves a question for is part of the reason she's the way she is because she was mistreated in the past as well. Is the result of her hatred come from the fact that maybe someone was a certain way with her?
Maybe
Yeah.
it's all sort of a knock-on effect, isn't it?
I mean, overall, I love the fact as well that what's the place called? Mascara?
Themyscira.
Yeah, mascara. The fact that it's clouded in like fog and stuff, and then like people like when that German poked through, and he's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Guys over here!" That was kind of cool as well to see all that. And I reckon, like, if she does get an invisible plane later on, it'll be shrouded in the same kind of stuff. I
That's a
reckon.
good shout. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, do you think we should have maybe got a scene where she goes back to her mum? Like once we were done at Themyscira, that was it. We were done. There was
Wasn't
no.
I
that the
reckon
whole thing,
later
like,
on-
when she left, she was like, you can never come back. So I think that was maybe a thing. Once you leave, you can't. Or maybe it's a thing of she doesn't want to come back because there's so much
to do. So
Yeah.
much to say.
My theory
because
is
her whole thing, like, she was very Superman in that respect of like, I have to save everybody. And that's what I really, really liked about the character. It was pure goodness. None of it was ever. I know she killed people, but she killed the bad people, and it was just I want to do good. Millions of people are going to die. I need to help everybody.
Yeah, I was born
in
for
the
this,
trenches. There's that one where I'm starving. It's like I need to help her.
Yeah.
She's in pain. It's like. Then Chris Pine, like Steve Trevor's like, we need to look at the whole picture. Like, if we can defeat the evil, then everybody else goes back to normal. And that's the reason she's like, we need to get across no man's land. And then she's like, well, let's do it. And he's like, well, we can't because they're firing. It's like, well, I'm a god. So
as regards
I've
of
got a badass
going,
shield.
as regards of her going back to her mum and that, I reckon that she will report in like Justice League or something because I know that the whole army of Amazonians follow her, don't they? In the end, and then they become like her troops. So I reckon in Justice League we'll probably see that. The same thing with Aquaman as well, because Aquaman leads his troops around as well.
Yeah, it's a good shout. Or do you not think that'd be too much? Like,
Mate,
you've got a whole
this is-
Aquaman
this is
army, you've got a
DC.
whole
This is DC,
Wonder Woman
man.
army.
This is DC. We're talking about,
And then
yeah,
like, the Flash
they'll
and
do
Batman
that.
are just like, yeah, orphan,
Yeah.
yeah, dad's in prison, yeah,
Yep.
mum died, yeah. What
But
about you, Cyborg? Yeah,
DC do try and cram a lot of fucking shit in their films. So
They
I
do.
reckon they will, to be honest.
And that's one thing that
Like-
they didn't do in Wonder Woman.
No.
I think they had a purpose to establish Wonder Woman as this heroic, caring, badass character with a decent arc and sort of a half decent villain and this sort of contained story within the DCEU. But like you said, Michael, not necessarily affecting everything else because it had the bookends of her looking at the picture from BVS.
I mean, even though I really, really liked Wonder Woman, I thought it was better than Guardians 2. I liked it a lot better than like some other films I've seen. I still think Justice League is going to be wank, like just complete wank. Although I like this film loads.
Yeah, it
because
gives me hope.
It gives me hope, but I still think it's going to be wank. Like you can't cram that much stuff into one film that hasn't had any background or any previous things before, apart from bar Wonder Woman, I guess, Man of Steel, and that focuses around like 3-4 characters, and there's like going to be like 7 or 8. Because I even heard talks of Martian Manhunter being in Justice League as well. So
Really?
yeah, so
But like, do you not think they're sort of advertising this whole thing just to create buzz, and then maybe Justice League rolls around, and I know it's like Unite the Six, it's like
yeah.
or 7 or whatever it is, I can't quite remember. 7. Have they showed? I think they've showed everybody in the trailer, haven't they? Though
You got Cyborg, you got
Flash.
you got Aquaman, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
Well, Superman's technically dead.
Yeah, that's true. So that.
Yeah.
Green Lantern?
Well, he's not been established
He's not
yet.
been
has he?
established,
So
has
maybe
he?
if they
No.
don't try and cram that in, don't go with the Martian Manhunter,
I would
stick to
like-
one decent villain, and then maybe I get the feeling it's
Maybe-
going to be like a 4-hour movie, though.
Maybe this is a good way to segue into our next podcast.
Yes.
you know
How
what I
about we
mean?
leave it for that?
Yeah.
We'll focus on Wonder Woman. We'll quickly go around the table and give our sort of final thoughts,
Yep.
and then we'll wrap this bitch up and we'll move along. So,
Hell yeah.
Curtis, overall,
Overall, I fucking... if you haven't seen the film, you need to go see it. If you like superheroes, you'll love this film. And Wonder Woman is brilliant in it. And to be honest with you, it's better than a lot of other superhero films. It's better than Thor Dark World. It's better than shit like that. I really enjoyed it.
good point, Michael.
Same. I think it was wicked. Really enjoyed it. Thought her costume looked phenomenal. Thought she was amazing. Her relationship with Steve Trevor was a highlight. I enjoyed the villain. And the only thing is I'd watch it in 2D, not 3D.
Excellent. And my final thoughts are pretty much echoing what you guys said. There are a few moments where I felt that the movie was bloated. There were a few scenes that could be cut out. I thought it was funny. It was witty. There was heart. It was everything you want from a superhero in the fact of you want this person to be good and save people and have an objective to save the world or save millions of people. And I really like that. So if you like Thor, if you like that kind of mysticism and gods, you'll love this. If you liked Captain America, the First Avenger, the whole World War thing and the struggles of that, you'll love this. And if you like any sort of Superman movies and the heart behind that, you'll love Wonder Woman. Go
Yeah.
watch it.
And if you like war films, you'll like it too.
Yeah. So if you've got any opinions, you can float them over to doyoulikefilms@gmail.com. You can hit us up on Facebook. It's Do You Like Films. Also on the Twitter @DoYouLikeFilms. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, like and all that kind of business. And I'll just say on behalf of me, Shaun, thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Curtis.
Thank you.
Adios, amigos.